Okay, let's try this. So, goal number one for today: understand that the brain is a complex system made up of smaller, complex systems. So, that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but it will. Okay, so let's think about the brain first off. There's a picture of a brain in the center. Some of the obvious functions of the brain, right? So, speaking like I'm doing, that's obviously one. Thinking, planning, we know we need our brains for that. To move my body, I need my brain for that, etc. Reading, writing, those are all obvious brain functions. We know that we need our brains in order to do that. There are also some less obvious functions that our brains do that we may or may not realize. But so our, excuse me, our brain controls our heartbeat. That's automatically done. Emotions and feelings, immune system, drives. So like when I'm hungry, that's because there's been a interaction between my brain and the rest of my body, and my brain has picked up the signals that I'm hungry, and now there are chemicals released in my body that tell me, hey, go eat. Okay, so lots of different things that the brain does. Okay, now I want us all to know that our brain is not a single whole organ that can do any function in any part of the brain, right? So say I had to have surgery and have 10% of my brain removed. I'm not just going to become 10% dumber because that's not how the brain works, right? So each part of the brain does something different. And so if I lost 10% of my brain, 10% of the things that I can do now, I would not be able to do. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on which part of the brain was taken out. Okay. So your brain has parts, and each part has a purpose. Each of those parts needs other parts to function properly. It's this really intricate system of organs, or not, maybe not organs, of organic material communicating with each other within the brain, and also the brain communicating back and forth with different systems in our body. Okay, so if we peel back this brain, remember, I have this image because it looks like the brain is one thing. It's not, right? So if we peel this back, we can see that there are a lot of different components of our brain. So we have our lobes up here, which each have different responsibilities. Inside, internally, we can see, basal ganglia, brainstem, the limbic system, spinal cord, all of that makes up our brain. And each of those things has different functions, and each of those functions and parts needs other parts of the brain and other parts of the body to function properly. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say the brain is a complex system made up of smaller complex systems. Let's go into an example, or maybe not. Let's go into a bit of a metaphor, so to speak.